Welcome to Right on the Mark with your host, Mark Young. Today, we're going to be preparing a Groundhog drink in preparation for Groundhog Day. You know, Groundhog Day is right around the corner. February 2nd to be exact. Now, it's been February 2nd since like 1887 with Punxsutawney Phil in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. You know, this is a strong tradition in Pennsylvania where they even televise it. I mean, they even made a movie about it with Bill Murray. I mean, come on. This is a serious drink for serious people that want to hear what the weather's going to be for the next 6 weeks. I mean, this is important stuff here. I have all the ingredients I need. This is basically a drink that you can call a cold toddy or hot toddy, depending what you want to do. You know, if you see your shadow, if Phil sees his shadow, that means there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see a shadow, that means it's going to be an early spring. So this drink is going to be prepared and you're going to drink it as how Phil sees fit. So let's go around and see what ingredients we have. We have bourbon, but you could use whiskey. We have some hot water because you want to use something hot for a hot toddy. You have some bitters you want to put in there. You have a lemon that you might want to use. And you have some cinnamon sugar that you're going to want to put in there. It's actually, you could say cinnamon syrup and put it in the drink. If you wanted to make a cold drink, you know, whether it's he sees his shadow or he doesn't, that's when you use the ice, basically. So let's go ahead and get started. You know, on Gobbler's Knob, if you've ever seen it on TV or read about it, you see all these people up on stage. They have the nice top hats, they have the tuxedos and the suits, and they're all reading from a script talking about Dear Punxsutawney Phil. Now, the average life of a groundhog is like 6 to 7 years, but Punxsutawney Phil, he drinks his magic elixir. So we've been listening from the same groundhog since 1887, as the legend goes. But let's go ahead and get this drink started right now. So first, we're going to want to go ahead and we're going to want to use some bourbon or whiskey. A jigger of that. Pour that in there. And then you're going to want to come behind that with your cinnamon syrup. We want to do an ounce of that. So this is a little homemade cinnamon syrup. You could tell by the stick that I like to do. You know, the lovely Kim likes to prepare all these drinks ahead of time for me. So I'll give a shout out to the lovely Kim, which I don't do too often, but here you go, lovely Kim. Thanks for preparing this. So you're going to use 1 ounce of the cinnamon syrup. So we're going to go ahead, flip over your jigger and add 1 ounce of that right into your hot toddy glass. Pretty fancy, eh? I think so anyway. You know, you're going to want to use a lemon. As usual, I like using lemons in it because you can also use this drink to cure the common cold, believe it or not. So whatever ails you, you could drink this and it's going to make you happy. So let's go ahead and cut this lemon here. So you want to use a half a lemon. You know, easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. That's what I always like to say. So let's go ahead and squirt that in here. Half a lemon. Beautiful, beautiful. You can smell that already. If you had a cold, you'd be clearing your nostrils right about now. And then you're going to want to use a couple dashes of bitters right here. So you're going to put some bitters in here. Now remember, this has alcohol in it too, so you don't want to hit it too hard. So I usually just do 2 bitters, which is enough to give you some flavor in there. You can go ahead and stir that around a little bit. And then you're going to want to top it off with some hot water right here. That'll get you going. Look at that steam. Oh yeah, you talk about Theraflu. This is hot toddy flu. Oh man, it's clearing my nostrils already, folks. Let me tell you. For sure, for sure. You know, historically, back in the day, a bear told what the weather was going to be in February. You know, in England and in France, a bear would come around, and if he came around at this certain time, you were going to have an early spring. If he didn't come around at this certain time, you're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. Personally, I have my own way of telling whether it's going to be an early spring or not. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Groundhog Day cocktail going in. Could also use a straw if it's a little too hot for you. Just put it right in there. Look at that color. That is good. This is what you're going to want to drink at Gobbler's Knob, because I'm telling you, it's probably going to be 10 degrees. Gobbler Knob drink going in. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That warms you up. Oh yeah, that warms you up. There's all kind of flavors going on. You got the bitters, you got the whiskey, you got the cinnamon syrup going on right here. Boy, is that good, baby. Bingo. This will take you to the promised land. Let me tell you, without a doubt, it's one of my favorite drinks in the galaxy. Now, this is just one part of like forecasting for Phil. You know, there's other, I'll say, animals that tell, you know, what the weather's going to be besides the Hot Toddy, Phil, and my Gomer Powell weather dance. I mean, come on. They have the Staten Island Chuck in New York that could tell you the weather. They could forecast anything. They have Plutomic Phil in DC. They have all kind of pseudo names out there for different animals. You know, they have the Sir Walter Riley in North Carolina. So let me tell you, there's more than just one groundhog that could tell what the temperature is going to be. I always like to say it's going to be an early spring, no matter whether he sees his shadow or not. Let me tell you. And I love Bill Murray in the Groundhog movie. So let me hear from you if you've ever heard of Bill Murray in the Groundhog. I mean, come on. I've worked at a lot of places, and a lot of people say it's like Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every day, no matter what profession you work in. So come on, even if you're a bartender, you know, even if you're a real bartender or a pseudo bartender, it's like Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every day. You're going to have your patrons come in every day, just as usual. So it doesn't get any better than this, folks. Very simple. Let me hear what you have to say. Let's go for an early spring for sure. Let's make our cold toddies, our hot toddies. Let's just make whatever we want. Get out to Gobbler's Knob, support Phil, talk to the people out there in the tuxedos and top hats, and have a good time. That about wraps it up for Right on the Mark with your host, Mark Young. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tap that bell so you don't miss any of this, so you can get more content. And always, always comment below. Let me know what you think of all this drinking that we do here. Man, let me get back to drinking this drink. It's a pretty good hot drink, I'll tell you. You can make this cold too if you add some ice to it, but we'll save that for another time.
Thanks for the
This is
shout-out,
pretty
Mark.
good. Oh, lovely Kim, did I hear that? Oh, I must be dreaming. Is there a thought bubble above my head? I don't know, but I must be hearing things. Must be the lovely Kim in my head. I don't know. Jeez.